All right, shall I take it away?
Go ahead.
Good morning, and good afternoon, and good evening, students and guests, wherever you are in the world today. Thank you for joining us today on this closing ceremony of the South African Netherlands Cyber School. Today marks the end of a 5-week adventure through cyberspace, a journey on everything cyber. I hope you enjoyed it and learned a few things about cybersecurity. You covered a lot of ground in these weeks, 20 lectures on as many topics, as followed by the very exciting challenges. It was a great pleasure for me to sit in some of the lectures, learning about encryption, cyber defense, EU regulations, and whatnot. And especially I enjoyed the last days of seeing all these YouTube challenges coming by on social media. Thank you so much for all the effort you put into this. The school was truly a global effort with participants from over 40 countries, which most of them from the African continent. We started out with over 1900 participants, and looking at the attendance of the lectures, we were happy to see many of them return. I also would like to highlight that we had a participation rate of 40% women, with which we beat the industry average, if I understood correctly. I hope that many continue to be inspired by the female role models which kicked off the school in March. That already feels like years ago, and I think that's an indication of how exciting the last couple of weeks have been. Today is unfortunately about wrapping up, but also about putting the winners into the spotlight. And later on, I have an exciting announcement. But for now, over to my very appreciated colleague, Noel at Stellenbosch University. Thank you.
Thank you, Joost. Good afternoon, everyone. It really is indeed a pleasure to be here today and to have come to this closing ceremony of thanks. So I'd like to start with some closing comments. Firstly, on the importance of what we did and why we did it, and this is goes to the heart of, I think, what today is about. This is an initiative by like-minded partners to be able to provide a launch opportunity for people who are interested in learning more about cybersecurity, potentially as a career option, about upskilling people who are already in work, or potentially reskilling as well. And we would like to thank, from Stellenbosch University side, very much the outreach we had from the Netherlands Embassy in South Africa, from Mr. Joost Bank specifically, to ask if we'd be interested in partnering with the Hague Centre for Security Studies to bring this initiative to Southern Africa. And I have to say that from Stellenbosch's side, the people who worked with me on this, Professor Bruce Watson, who you can see in the bottom of your screen, and Annette Sars-Watson, we embraced this opportunity, and everybody that you see before you here is really a volunteer. And I'm sure there's lots we'll learn from this round of this course and take back, and we'll improve and refine. But we really, I have to say that everyone on the screen gave it everything that they had to make this a success. And what I loved about this course, and I hope that something that you really appreciated about it, gave everyone a really good insight into how cybersecurity really works in the wild. Having industry experts who really paid it forward and took time to come and sit and talk to you, and they're some of the busiest people I know, really shared their expertise and how keen, and we saw this especially from a lot of the leading South African cyber experts, how important it is for them to build up the cybersecurity community. And I think understanding the amount of goodwill that is out there for you as students, how badly we would all like to see you succeed and go forward and build our cybersecurity capabilities as a profession, and reach out and do whatever we can to mentor and build. And that was a huge positive that I took away from that. And I would really like to say to all the speakers that we approached to come and give of themselves a huge thank you for the quality of the lectures they gave, but also the enthusiasm which they tackled this with in their busy days. And but following on that, the opportunity for students to actually ask really important questions, things like, university versus certifications. How do I go about this? Well, with most things in life, I think what's always important is start somewhere. And every single one of you who registered for this course started somewhere. So take a bow. And most of you stuck it out, and it, you know, like everyone has got busy lives, and you stuck it out and you came to class and you've taken part in everything, and you're going to walk away with some incredible certifications, you know, to add to your resume, but I think also some incredible experiences and networking opportunities. And this is something that every single one of us can build on in the future. I love the fact that the course had such a unique blend of international expertise with African expertise. I think that makes it something truly unique as a global product. And it was wonderful to hear different perspectives from around the world, but also, you know, from my point of view, and this is going to sound very nationalistic, but wonderful to watch African and South African experts speak, and you know, the world-class lecture and expertise that they shared with you. You know, I think we can, our local cyber professionals could take a bow, and so thank you for that. I'd very much like to thank our challenge partners, Liquid C2, DataGrate, and the Cybersecurity Institute. When we approached them to act as challenge partners, they embraced the idea. I've already had some queries around, you know, what next, and potentially, you know, potential, you know, how does one look at going forward if there's talent out there that maybe they'd like to access, etc. So there's so much that comes of this, but our challenge partners again took time to come and bring you these challenges. And guys, I have to say I was blown away by most of your presentations and videos. Really, really impressed. So again, thank you for that. So without too much further ado, I would like to thank the people that I worked with, and to thank those people for working with me. I have to extend, obviously, a special thanks to Bruce and Annette. We came a long way on this road together, and I think from our side we put together a good product from our side. But I also need to thank Michelle for working with us and for choosing us, and of course a huge round of applause for Stephanie and Bernd, who worked tirelessly in the background every single day. And the good humor with which and grace with which you handled all the little blips that came along. You guys were simply fantastic. And for those of you who want to get into cybersecurity, the door is open. Keep knocking on it. You know, I think just take your steps, go forward, size up what your next move is going to be. And it's definitely upwards and onwards. And hang in here till the end. I think you're really going to enjoy the surprise announcement. So thank you very much. I think next up is Michelle.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, well, for all the kind words. I think I should, I can only applaud to it. And I also would like to really say thank you to you, to Nanette, to Bruce, to make this all happen, because, well, we have done these schools before. We know it's quite an effort, and especially the first time, because then on your side at least you had to reinvent the wheel, and I know it's quite an effort. So, but before going into a bit of thank you at the end as well of my little speech, I would, as being dressed as having a keynote, some remarks. I will go into the content a bit more of cybersecurity. So if you look at what's happening in the world nowadays, then whatever you do, it is underpinned with technology, with digital technologies. And that means that all walks of life are being influenced, are being digitized in all kind of ways. And that means at the same time that a lot of new functions pop up, new capabilities. Old ones disappear, new ones show up. And that means that sometimes people are a bit afraid about the digitalization, that I will lose my job. You might, but at the same time, a lot of new jobs and opportunities will pop up. You'll see that in AI, you see it in quantum computing, you see it in all kind of ways. they will provide new jobs, new opportunities. But if you think about that, cybersecurity is a very important field of expertise, because all this digital connectiveness in the end, because that's all where it's all about, all those surfaces that touch each other, there are vulnerabilities. And that means that if you start to pick up your career in cybersecurity, it is important to understand that this cyberspace that you're in is interconnected, being it that you work in internet technologies, data centers, working in hardware, the software, cloud, or much more. And it's not about technology alone. It's also about norms and standards, accountability, legal issues, policy developments, transparency issues. And I think most of these functions we explained a bit. We might only have scratched the surface, but in all those lectures, I think that was explained a bit. I think when I opened the school a couple of weeks back, I said you won't be the expert at the end, but you will probably be one of the few that start to understand the complexity of cyberspace in all its facets, more or less. And because all these capabilities basically are interconnected, that in practice means that whoever works in this field should understand this interconnectedness and the potential for both positive as well as the negative aspects, so the cyber risks, so to say. And not only in the company that you work, but basically also intra-company, so within your company, as well as national, as well as international, because cyber, as you of course understand, doesn't stop at our borders. I think that's an important part of understanding what the complexity of cyberspace is all about. And when you would ignore this fact, this interconnectedness and this international global reach that your maybe little software application that you're building might have, then you create more risks and potential problems if you're not aware. That was also the reason that we organized this multidisciplinary lectures, that we had the challenges, and especially also the challenges were not only about content, but also about the urgency, I think, of being able to work together with other disciplines. And in this case, probably also internationally, because some of the teams, of course, were international. And that means you have to overcome maybe language issues, jargon of being a lawyer versus a technical guy or girl. And that in practice is how it in practice works. So you have to try to understand how it all works. And another thing that we organized is the serious game about how make Southern Africa more cyber resilient. We had internally a bit of discussions already. Should we not, for the next iteration of the school, give that a bit more weight, because that will mobilize more integrated thinking. And so we have some ideas for maybe a next iteration of the school. I was pleasantly surprised for the first iteration of the school that we had so many subscriptions, more than 1,800 for the 3 countries, 82% from South Africa. But all in all, quite a spread, and I'm quite proud of it, actually, that we made that possible. So indeed, I would like to thank you all, both the organizing team, of course, great job, a lot of work, a lot of persistence in making it a success, but also all the lecturers. Most of the lecturers, I think all of the lecturers already got a thank you letter with our appreciation. That is something that I find very important to underpin as well. But also the companies, as already Noel said, did an extremely important job, because those companies need you. They need the capabilities that you are building for yourself at this point in time. And last, and especially not least, is you students yourself, because it was 5 weeks of quite persistent attendance that you had to show. You had to wipe up your calendar. I said, okay, and it's sometimes easier to sit in a room, in a classroom, and listen to a lecture than being behind glass, so to say. But I think most of you, most of you did attend. Not all the 75%. That was applicable for those that are obligatory for those that want to have a certificate. But still, I think the persistence of all to follow this till the end, I think is really great, because it's on top of what you already did. So that's to be said. It's now the end of the course. Hopefully next year again. And I hope that it was worth the effort, both for the students as well as for the organizing parties. I enjoy it always very much, and I'm really happy that we had such a good organizing team. So that saved me some troubles and a bit of time as well, because either Noel or Nanette or Bruce or Stephanie or Berend could help out when I was occupied with a bit of other things as well. So thank you so much, and I think that without further ado, we come to the concluding winners of the challenges, actually, that made videos. And I'm not sure, Berend, who's the master of ceremonies for the videos? Is that you, or how are we going to do this?
Berend and I will be showing the videos together, so I will
Super.
pull them up on my laptop and Berend will walk us through them.
Right. Okay. And as far as I understood, there's still a bit of possibility for each team to maybe in 1 or 2 short statements explain why this was nice or difficult or terrible, whatever.
Exactly. So we'll take off with challenge number 1, which was provided to us by Datagrade. Thanks again. Maybe Justin is even on the call. It was a great challenge. It was very well written.
Sorry.
Yeah, we almost started. It was very well written, and it was a great layout. So I think the teams really enjoyed participating in this one. There were some positive remarks on the content, and it was very nicely set up. And of course, yeah, there was 3 videos that had gained the most likes on YouTube in the 24-hour window that they got for that. Quite some likes, to be fair. We were quite impressed by the number of it. You managed to, well, some managed to hit 280 in 24 hours, which is quite impressive. I've never managed to do that, so that's great. Then again, there were good videos. They were very nice. So then our jury looked at those indeed, and together with the challenge partners in a team from our end and from Stellenbosch, we looked at which video made the best solution to the challenge. So it was based on, well, both likes to make it to the final cup, right? And then based on the content and the solution and the way it was presented, there was a scoring that turned out the winning team. And for challenge number 1 by Datagrade, it was team 1A. So congrats very much once more. You all know by now that you've won the challenge, but it might be good to show to everyone else what the product was that you delivered and with which you have won this challenge.
Indeed.
So if, Stephanie, you can share your screen, then hopefully we have sound as well, and we can see the nice video that Team 1A has made for the challenge.
Yeah. Okay, hopefully we have sound. Maybe we can get confirmation. Okay, 1A, starting now. Oh, no sound.
No sound. There's no sound on my side either. Maybe you can share the link in the chat at some point.
Oh, there's no sound for you on your side?
No, no. Not sure how it is with the rest. If the rest is okay, then I'm fine. I've seen the video.
No, we're
there's
seeing
no
some.
sound. Yeah.
That is an issue. Would it be somewhere here?
Yeah, it could be. No, that's all set, right?
Or if I pull it up on YouTube instead of the actual file, that could work.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's try it that way. Sorry, guys. For some reason, the sound for the video doesn't show, even though you can hear us very well. Okay. MS Team issue, they're saying. We've had a lot of those these past few weeks, haven't we? Yeah, all of my audio settings are on for Teams, so.
Oh, I see what it is. If you go back to Teams,
Yeah,
there, share button,
oh yeah.
you have to include sound. There we go.
Okay, we're good to go. We'll
We still have
start that
some time.
again.
We were running behind, but yeah, we were ahead of time in schedule anyway, so that's going to work. Team 1A for challenge 1. Let's have one more look at this scratch video. Showing it twice is not a bad thing either. So now with sound.
How crucial is
Somebody confirm if you guys can hear that? Yeah, okay.
There we go.
perfect, perfect.
All right.
cyber resilience for our critical infrastructure? The answer is simple yet profound. It's as vital as the infrastructure itself. In this digital age, our critical infrastructure is more than just physical assets. It's a complex web of interlinked systems, all of which are potential targets for cyber threats. Take, for instance, the case of Estonia. Following a massive cyber attack in 2007, the small Baltic nation transformed itself into a digital fortress. It adopted robust network and perimeter security measures, implemented extensive user education programs, the impact of cyber incidents on the nation's critical infrastructure. Drawing from these global examples, South Africa has crafted a multi-layered strategy to bolster our cyber resilience. Our approach integrates robust prevention measures, advanced detection tools, coordinated response plans, and comprehensive recovery efforts. Moreover, it fosters collaboration between government, private sector, and international partners. In conclusion, building cyber resilience for South Africa's critical infrastructure requires a comprehensive approach. By learning from global success stories and tailoring them to our unique context, we can fortify our defenses, safeguard our infrastructure, and ensure the digital well-being of our nation. This isn't just about protecting data or systems, it's about protecting our way of life.
All right. I heard we lost the sound there for a second, but it's a very nice video indeed. We would like to ask if anyone from Team 1A is in the call right now, and we surely hope that you are. Can you raise your hand if you're willing to do so, of course. And we would like to ask you to give a short comment on how you approach this challenge with your team. And I see that Clive Palmer has just raised their hand. I assume you're on Team 1A, so I'll unmute you then and see what you would have to say about how you tackled the challenge with the team. We're very curious to hear from you. You can now mute yourself, I think.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Clive. How's it? Just want to thank you guys for the opportunity to participate in this challenge, and just want to send a shout out to Group 1A. Our experience in doing this challenge was actually a very, very good learning experience for all of us. We worked very well as a group together. We actually collaborated pretty well. The first thing that we actually did to overcome this challenge was to sort out all of the things that we had skills for and all the skills that we lacked. And that really paved the way forward for us. Our motto during this challenge was always to work smart and not hard, and obviously using the tools at our disposal. And what we actually did was we utilized a lot of AI tools. Some of them were Claude, ChatGPT, GPT-4 in video, as you've seen, watermarked in the video, to perfect the content. But we really focused on the key objectives being prevention, detection, response, and recovery. So that's the 4 points we focused on. But I really just want to also bring to the attention the work of the team. I mean, we all had things to do during the week. It was very difficult for us to meet, but everybody made the time. And in every single meeting, there was a clear objective. And we had a structured approach there as well. And everybody played their part and used their existing skills to actually contribute to something in the video. It was tough. It was tough fitting all of the content into 3 minutes. I won't lie, that was a big challenge for us. But we managed to generate up to about 5 or 6 different scripts for this, with content and changing the content, chopping and changing all the time to make sure that it fits within 3 minutes, and deciding if we're going to use our own voices or AI narrated video. So there was a lot of decision making to actually produce the final content, and we wanted something that would really be engaging. And I think on behalf of Group 1A, I can just say that we're really glad that the video did turn out to be an engaging video and that the content was appreciated, because we really did, as a group, put a lot of effort into the video that you saw just now. So I just want to again send a shout out to Group 1A. You guys did really well, and I'm really proud of you guys for all the effort that you put in. And yeah, thanks again for the opportunity to participate in this challenge.
Great to hear that, Clive. Thanks a lot. That's an awesome story there. Sounds really good. Sounds like you had a dedicated approach indeed. 5 or 6 scripts. That's awesome. I would actually be curious to see the other ones, but this was a very nice end product, of course. And if there's one way I know to make Michel happy, it's thinking about your capabilities, the ones you have and the ones you need to develop. So that's a very nice approach, Clive. Yeah, we're happy with how the challenge turned out. Noelle has also written a big part of it, so I think she's happy as well. Impressive product, yeah, and nice to hear that the multidisciplinarity of the team actually worked in your favor. That's really good to hear.
We did that intentionally with the allocation.
Of course. And then still, it's nice to see how it panned out. Noelle, do you have a short comment on this end product for this nice challenge?
Yeah, it was a thing of beauty to watch. Really, really good execution to the team. And I think you distilled the issues down just perfectly, spoke to the challenge. And yes, I mean, identify, respond, protect, detect, etc. It's very, very important. And you really hit the button on this one. Having said that, and so I'd like to congratulate you. But having said that, I must say, I thought with a lot of the challenges, it was incredibly difficult to decide between the winners. Close run things. So if you're maybe coming second or third, don't feel down about that. I think you bent our brains trying to figure out, there was a whole process that we went through, but everybody that's sitting in this room whose challenges there, they were excellent challenges.
Yeah, that's good that you mentioned that, Noelle. Indeed, the other teams that made the top 3, they also know who they are. And the results didn't came a little later than we were expecting for no reason, indeed. So it took quite a while to figure out who to pick from these awesome submissions. They were all worth watching a couple times and then deciding who the winner should be. Yeah, thanks, Noelle. Great. Let's move on to challenge number 2.
Yep.
And the winning team for that challenge. hope they're online as well and that they give a great comment just as Clive did right now. Clive, you can lower your hand, by the way, then we can see who's from the other team.
Yeah.
All right, team 2D, they did a great job as well. This was a difficult one again. The first challenge by Liquid C2, of course. Maybe we have Unati or Noor on the call. They also bent their brains on deciding who they thought was the best. They had 6 teams to review, right? So 3 for each challenge. But eventually it was team 2D that turned out to be the winner. So yeah, let's see it.
Oh my goodness. What?
Trying again, folks. No worries.
We fixed the problem. Let's try it again. Do I have to click that button every time? I do have to click.
Might be the
every
case.
time. Okay. Now it will run smoothly. Promise. Okay. They're so good, we have to watch them all twice. Like we said. Okay. Ready? This should work now.
As AI keeps changing industries and societies exclusively in Africa, regulating it becomes super important. We've got to find the right balance between encouraging innovation and preventing problems. Join me, aka Group 2D, as we dive into AI regulation, where tech process and ethics shape how we govern. Despite their significant impact, AI systems pose various security challenges, particularly in Africa. Here are some of the regulations that should be taking place. Technologies such as facial recognition and predictive analytics raises concerns about mass surveillance and infringement on individuals' right to privacy. Without appropriate safeguard and oversight, these technologies could lead to unwarranted surveillance, tracking, and profiling of individuals, undermining their autonomy and freedom. Data protection and privacy. Enforcing strong laws to govern personal data handling in AI systems, ensuring transparency, consent, and user control, along with measures for minimizing, anonymizing, and encrypting data to protect privacy. Cybersecurity and risk management. Setting standards and practices to protect AI systems from cyber threats, breaches, and attacks through secure coding, vulnerability assessments, incident response, and regular audits. Algorithm transparency and accountability. Ensuring decision-making is transparent and accountable to prevent bias, discrimination, and unfair treatment, with measures for explainability, fairness assessment, and recourse in cases of harm. Ethical and human rights. Integrating principles like fairness, non-discrimination, and privacy into AI governance to uphold fundamental rights and values during development and deployment. AI systems are being used in African countries such as Kenya, Egypt, Nigeria, Ethiopia, South Africa, and many more. They are used to better help in the Department of Health, agriculture such as the use of plantation management, monitoring of plants, a better e-commerce, customer services, and many more. This shows that Africa has been diving in the area of AI development. In conclusion, effective AI regulation in Africa is crucial for maximizing benefits while minimizing risks. Through strong regulations, transparency, and collaboration, African nations can navigate AI governance successfully. Upholding ethical standards and inclusivity is vital for ensuring AI's positive contribution to the continent's development. From Group 2D, Challenge 2. Thank you for watching.
All right, and thank you for submitting, so to say. I see we have Anton Dawson in the chat, who we've also seen on LinkedIn, promoting the video widely. So Anton, if you're there and up for a comment, or someone from your team, of course, I can imagine that there's more of you there. Yeah, raise your hand, and then we can unmute you. I see that we have Mbali here as well. Maybe do a quick comment from Mbali first. I'm now allowing your mic so you can unmute yourself, and we're happy to hear about your process.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. First of all, I would like to thank the Sangs family for giving us the opportunity to learn more, especially in the field of cybersecurity. And also, I would like to give a shout out to my group, Group 2D. So I'm just going to say their names. So it's Clement, Sia, Anton, Sipisande, Lizwe, and Denzi. It was so great working with you all. And like the teamwork, the passion was just so phenomenal. So in our research on AI regulation and deployment in Africa, we delved into the laws, the cultures, and also the tech progress shaping the continent, which is Africa. So collaborating with our research, especially with Anton, we found so many different approaches into handling AI's impact within different countries, as mentioned in the video. So we gathered and we summarized them into 2 minutes, and it was so much research. I just remember editing this, we had to cut and make more scripts into putting it all in once because I know I talk too much. So putting that in 3 minutes was so hard. And as well, regarding the video, what I learned, I don't know, maybe the others can also comment on that if they can. But what I've learned is that we need to have inclusive rules and regulations to balance innovation and also human rights and AI. And understand that within African countries, there will be challenges. Some other countries are still trying to get the gist of everything. But I understand that if we work together, I know that the impact of AI can just be phenomenal with Africa. So thank you so much, Group 2D. It was so nice working with you all. It was so nice being part of Sangs family and being here to learn. It was so amazing. Thank you so much.
It's wonderful to hear. Thanks so much, Mbali. Your enthusiasm is really great to hear. And you've deeply thought about this, that's for sure. It's always nice to see a team that also does a lot of research beforehand and actually has a challenge comprising all of that research into one nice video. But you did a great job and eventually it worked out. So that's awesome. On behalf of the challenge partner as well, which is Liquid C2, of course. The way that they, why they determined you to be the winner, and we agree with it, was because, you first of all went beyond only the information presented in the challenge prompt, which is exactly what you just explained by doing all your research. So that really shows. I mean, it shows a deeper understanding of several issues and the ability to connect all of those. And then again, you also tied the ideas back to African needs and challenges. And also the potential, as you just mentioned. So that's a great combination. So yeah, weeding out first, understanding all of issues, and then tying it all back to African needs and challenges. That's what made this video stand out. So well done, well done. If there's someone else from the team for a short comment, we still have time for that. Otherwise, we're moving on to the next challenge. And so if I see a hand raised in, let's say, the next 10 seconds, we can still do it. Otherwise, we go on to challenge number 3. Which also came from Liquid C2, which is also an interesting challenge. Different topic again, but very nicely written as well. So thanks to Nati and Noor for that. Yeah, let's show a video for challenge 3.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm including sound this time. We shall not have an issue. All right.
Yeah, so it was Team 3K, did a great job. Again, a hard decision, it goes without saying, but eventually Team 3K was the one that turned out to have covered the most ground and presented it nicely. So let's watch it.
Improving cyber literacy in Africa. Imagine this. You're a small business owner with an e-commerce store that sells clothes. You have 2 part-time employees and things are great. Business is booming. and your website is getting a lot of hits, and you've made sure to secure your website and have antivirus on your laptop. One day you go to your local coffee shop to check your emails by connecting to the public Wi-Fi, and you go into your website backend to see if there are any new orders. And after you finish your coffee, you rush back to the office to start packing them. But then after a few days, you're unable to log into your accounts, and you get an email stating that a hacker has taken over your accounts and wants a ransom. And this has made you realize that you don't have an IT person, and you will need to close your business if you need to pay the hackers. Let's look at the current problem. Small and medium-sized businesses have limited awareness of the importance of cyber literacy and often think that they are too small to be attacked. They have limited resources and usually have no budget for cybersecurity. And there's also a lack of cyber literacy training for founders and teams, as they are also often the most targeted group. And 51% of small businesses have no security measures in place at all. Our solution is to raise the awareness of cybersecurity literacy by having high quality, affordable digital and cybersecurity literacy awareness training videos. To promote digital inclusivity, because everyone, regardless of their gender, age, or ethnicity, should be part of cyber capacity building initiatives to build a bridge with regard to the digital gap. And then cyber hygiene for everyone, because digital technologies are an important part of everyday life for everyone. And cybersecurity awareness should be part of schools, universities, and workplace training courses. And our product is fun and interactive short digital and cyber literacy training videos via WhatsApp. And why WhatsApp, you may ask? Because many Africans of different age groups use WhatsApp daily. It is the most popular messaging app in Africa due to the low data usage, and it is a cost-effective app and easy to use. And with that, I would like to say thank you for myself, Jocelyn, and my team, Trevin and Pabalo.
Great to have seen that. Thanks a lot. A very aesthetically pleasing presentation as well. So well done. Curious to know who made all these nice visualizations. Yeah, great, Jocelyn. It was a nice presentation. Obviously, the rest of the team, well done. What our challenge partner has said about, well, why you should be considered the winner. Yeah, you clearly selected a target audience, right? And you also, well, found a platform how to reach them. That's very interesting. So it was very, very actionable, your solution. And you made sure also how to highlight how your initiative exactly is relevant for that target audience. So you picked an audience and really explained how your solution pertains to them. And of course, indeed, the communication channel that you chose for this is also one that is suitable for that. So that's really well thought through. And you present a lot of good background research, again, to support this idea of yours as a team. Yeah, obviously also we, coming from a think tank and from a university as Stellenbosch and HCSS, we like a lot of research as well, when it properly underscores the solution that you're presenting, and it did this time again. And that actually also kind of proves the point we were making in the beginning of SANGS as well. You don't have to be an expert on these topics when you start out. But when you're in a team with people who all know their own thing, and you can conjointly then do a lot of research, learn from each other, and research a topic when you're diving into it, you're amazed by how much you can learn in a fairly short time, right? So very, very well done on this. Is there someone from the team online, perhaps? We have 3 people in the team. Let's see if someone is there. Jocelyn herself. All right. Well, there we go, Jocelyn. I will now allow your mic. If you unmute yourself, we're very curious to hear from you.
Hi, thank you so much. I think first off, thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm not in cybersecurity, but I do work in the tech space and with startups all the time. So yeah, so thank you so much for the opportunity. And I think first off, also thank you to my team, to Trevin and to Pabalo, who really put in the research. None of us work within cybersecurity. So this was a really fun and interesting challenge for us. And so because I work with startups almost on a daily basis, I asked my team if we could focus on small businesses because that's the audience that I work with. And if we could then do a pitch, because that when I heard 3 minutes, that we had 3 minutes to do a video, I was like, that's a pitch to an investor, right? And that's why when I got all our reaches together, I was like, okay, so this needs to be then like a business. So if we do the pitch, it needs to make sense. So we need to establish the problem, the solution, and the business essentially, which is then the WhatsApp channel, be using that to get people to then watch the videos and stuff like that. So, and yeah, I think I just want to say thank you to my team for trusting me for us to do it as a pitch. And I was speaking to them yesterday and I was saying that I thought it might be maybe a bit too simplistic because I do capacity building in communities. So, you know, you just use language that people understand, and they trusted me. And yeah, so thank you so much for choosing us. And we really enjoyed the challenge. Thank you.
Great to hear. Thanks a lot. Yeah, awesome to hear how the teams are all approaching a project like this, right? And you're even telling us indeed that you're not in cybersecurity yourself. Well, you clearly did a great job, so that's wonderful to hear. And we're glad that the program has allowed you to excel in this regard. Awesome stuff. All right. Well, there's obviously a final challenge, which is challenge number 4, given to us by CSI, specifically Elmarie Bierman, who has also provided a lecture. Perhaps Elmarie is on the call. We don't know for sure, but at least CSI has done a great job writing up yet another interesting challenge, which also, yeah, again, was tailored to a whole different topic again. So yeah, it was obviously nice to give you a broad selection of challenges to do. And we've seen a broad selection of nice solutions to those in return. Yeah, video for challenge 4. Let's watch it because, well, while there were 3 videos that had gained the most likes, and the other submissions were also quite of great quality, there was one video that in the end turned out to have won. And the reason for that, before we show the video, was also because of all the ground covered during the video. So the video explains really a lot. One comment we had was that it goes quite fast, and it's something that we've heard before from the other teams, right? 3 minutes is only 3 minutes. And it's part of the challenge to keep it within 3. Well, this team did, but they do convey a lot of information. So yeah, that's a great thing to see. Yeah, without further ado, let's watch it.
Yeah, this is challenge 40, everybody.
With sound?
Should be.
Great.
Should be.
Awesome.
Strategic cyber threats are characterized by their sophistication, scale, and potential impact. They involve highly sophisticated attacks, often orchestrated by state-sponsored actors or APT groups. So strategic cyber threats are designed to have a far-reaching, long impact to organization or a nation, involving advanced, persistent, and stealthy attacks employed by highly skilled criminal groups. The goal is to disrupt critical infrastructure, determine national security. So attacks on NCI constitute potential catastrophic events threatening national security, economy, public safety, and resilience. For an example, attackers could attack an energy system. So ransomware, while this attack has been significant, the main concern, focusing mainly on this threat vector can divert attention from other attacks vectors that are employed by strategic threat actors. So here's a list of a couple of them. So recently, there's been quite a number of strategic cyber threat cases that we've witnessed. For instance, the common one is the SolarWinds. In South Africa, there's also a lot of attacks that we've seen that they were sort of strategic cyber threats. So understanding the TTPs of strategic cyber threats actors includes, so you have to know things like social engineering, exploit, deployment, persistent mechanism, and lateral movement. This is critical for effective defense and detection. So ATPs are highly sophisticated cyber threats actors known for their persistent techniques, often associated with state-sponsored or cyber espionage. So choosing between centralized or decentralized security models or hybrid approach requires careful consideration of factors like resilience and scalability. So a comprehensive cybersecurity strategy will incorporate like in threat intelligence, defense in depth, incident response, and continuous improvement to effect mitigation to the risk of strategic cyber attacks. So in conclusion, strategic cyber threats demands our most outer attention and diligence. And adopting comprehensive cybersecurity strategies can help mitigate this risk and safeguard critical infrastructure. Thank you.
Yeah, great to see. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, team. A different solution this time, right? So the other one had a clear product in mind. This is more of a broader policy recommendation, which is also great. Maybe on behalf of the partner CSI, which I've also explained why this video stood out, is because of the great detail explained in the video, right? So there's a lot of information there, and it clearly shows of a methodological approach. So well done in that. We can clearly see that you thought it all through, and you tied it all directly back to the challenge itself. So it directly spoke to the brief. Yeah, in that sense, you've answered all of the sub questions basically that are in the challenge, and that's a great thing as well. So done very well worked out. A lot of information, but still structured in a good way. So a nice submission. We're curious if anyone from the team is on board. And after that, we'll give it a moment to talk to some of the challenge partners. But first, is someone from the winning team on the call? Please raise your hand and I'll allow your mic. I see that we have someone here with their hand up. So that should be who we're looking for. You can now unmute yourself. We're glad to hear your comment.
Can you hear me?
Can.
Thank you so much, guys, for the opportunity. Like, it was an amazing experience, and I had a great team. And their names is Miss Diana. I had Mr. Matibula and Mr. Batandwa. So with our presentation, we planned that we want our presentation to be an aesthetic and to be authentic. As we all know that AI has taken over, but then we wanted to look more authentic. And as you guys have been preparing the lectures, we try to keep consistency into attending, in as much as everyone in my team, we had like work, we had school, but then we were able to attend most of the lectures. And I believe each and every lecture, we are supposed to have an outcome, what we have learned. So in our presentation, what we did is that everything that we have learned in our lectures, we compiled everything, and we made a lot of research, and we tried to make everything together in 3 minutes. So everything worked out perfectly, but then we had a lot of challenges prior to the due date. It was not easy at all, but then shout out to my teammates. They were working really hard. Each and every one of us, they had their part, they played their part. And with our video, I would like to say that we had a last lecture. I don't quite remember who was the lecturer, and she shared the most important.
I think we lost you there for a second. You're still in line with us?
Probably just a little bit of a connectivity issue. So I think it's Silwane. I can't see the whole name. But while we just wait for it to boom back in, she spoke about the last lecture. It's something that was shared with them, and I think she's talking about Sharain Kuvadia and Kobus Mens had the closing lecture. Is there anyone else from the team who can take over to just finish that off?
We see a hand there.
Yeah, there we go.
Resimati Matabula.
Resimati, your mic can now be used. If you unmute yourself, we can hear you. Visimati, go ahead. If you unmute yourself, see if it works.
He is unmuted, but also not hearing him.
Okay.
Visimati, is your sound up, your volume? Oh no, he's still muted. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Just
needs to
unmute
unmute
your-
himself.
Yeah, unmute your mic.
Doesn't seem to be working.
Can also put something in the chat if that works better. Also read that. Okay, so it might be a connectivity issue as well then.
Oh, I hear something from the first speaker. From
Go
this
ahead
team.
if you're there.
No, they're muted again. I think it's going in and out. So
Sawani?
I'm sorry, guys. I had a disconnection. My network disconnected me. Leslie, thank you so much for the opportunity. I really appreciate everything. Also to my teammates, they were wonderful. We really worked hard. Even if we had challenges, like we were able to surpass the challenges that we had. And me, as being a full-time engineering student, I'm proud of myself and my team also. It has been a huge experience for me. Thank you so much.
Wonderful, wonderful to hear. Thanks a lot, Sawani, for your comments. Yeah, this is great. We were curious, what did you share about the final lecture that you wanted to mention? We're curious to hear that.
She spoke about, she said, how are we gonna do our presentation? Isn't like the roadmap on how are we gonna go about it. It was like an idea. So personally, I think like for me attending that lecture, it was a highlight for me. Okay, this is where I'm going to start. This is my starting point. Like I had to share with my team members, okay, guys, the lectures that we had today, this is what she spoke about, the roadmap, where to go, where to start, and all that.
Great to hear it. Lovely. Thanks a lot. Yeah, that's awesome to hear. Well, let Sheree know that, by the way. I think she'll like that. That she inspired the challenge so directly. That's awesome. It's nice to see a combination between the lectures and the challenges themselves. I mean, the course is designed to function that way. We want to give you a lot of information and content to work with in the challenge. And that then the final lecture has given you this inspiration. That's awesome to hear. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. I believe we still have some people on the call as well from the partner companies, and we have Noor here from Liquid C2. Noor, I believe you have a comment to make. So if you're here and up for that, I think you can also just use your mic. You should be presenter.
Yes. Hi, everyone.
There we go.
Sorry if my voice cuts. My connection isn't very good, but I wanted to thank all participants for their participation in the challenges. It was really great seeing all of the videos and all of the submissions, and honestly, all of the work was very impressive. So thank you everyone for engaging with the challenges so enthusiastically, and best of luck.
Great to hear. Thanks, Noor. Yeah, on behalf of everyone, indeed. Thanks a lot for engaging this so much and for helping us out with great challenges as well, Noor. That's awesome. Liquid C2 provided two of the 4 challenges, which were all received with great enthusiasm also by the teams. Everyone really liked working on those and they were very well written. So thanks a lot for that. I really enjoyed working with you guys. Maybe a nice comment that I see from Michelle in the chat as well. It's great to hear all the enthusiasm, that's for sure. And also to hear from all the ladies on the teams, right? You stood up great, explained all your team efforts. That's awesome. The first panel of the kickoff session did some inspiration there, I hope. Women in cyber, yeah, of course, that's
For
great.
sure.
Very nice to see it, love to see it. Thanks all. Great, I think we're there for showing the winning teams. Which again blew us away with the quality of the videos, and also the other submissions. They were all very good for the short period of time that you had to work on those. So impressive, actually.
Well done, guys.
Yeah, I've been in university projects that took a lot longer for less of a video. So well done. Now, before we close off, obviously we're not leaving without the special announcement that we all promised you. And for that, we have Mr. Joost Bank on the call again from the Dutch Embassy in Pretoria. So Joost, give it away.
Thank you, Berend. And again, congratulations to the winning teams. It was really inspiring. Actually, really fun to look at all these YouTube clips and hearing the presentations, setting out some of these very challenging topics quite well, even for me to understand. So hats off. It was really, really exciting. And also for the teams that haven't been able to present, congratulations on all of your efforts. So as mentioned in my opening remarks, we have something else in store for you as part of the South African Netherlands Cyber School. And I'm very happy that I can announce today that the Embassy of the Kingdom of the Netherlands is teaming up with the Cybersecurity Institute to deliver a talent accelerator track. And this talent accelerator track will build upon the cyber school to get students workplace ready and certified in this exciting field of cybersecurity, building upon what you have already learned over the last weeks. The track will obviously focus on hard skills such as coding, but also on the soft skills. Successful candidates, we only have limited placements, unfortunately, will undergo an accredited full-time cybersecurity training and a workplace readiness program, engaging with experts in the field and exploring opportunities at companies and institutes. This is a full-time program supported by the Embassy and a unique opportunity only for participants of this cyber school. This track will run the coming months and will provide students with a unique opportunity to make a very big leap in becoming a cyber professional. We will announce more details on the application process soon. As said, we have limited spot. So keep an eye on your inbox for more information on how to apply for this very exciting accelerated track. This also brings us very close to the end of this iteration of the South African Netherlands Cyber School. Let me then, before we log off, thank all of the lecturers once again for these very interesting presentations. Without them, the school would not have been the success it was. A big round of virtual applause. I also want to thank our challenge partners, DataGrade, Liquid C2, and the Cybersecurity Institute for providing students with immersive cyber opportunities and strengthening their problem-solving skills. Let me also say a big word of thanks to Stellenbosch University, in particular Noel, who has been an important driving factor in the success of this school. And of course, Professor Bruce Watson and the team at Stellenbosch. Big word of thanks on behalf of the Embassy. I also want to thank Michel and his team at the Hague Center for Strategic Studies for delivering this one-of-a-kind school. And lastly, a big word of thanks for all of you students for your contributions, your questions, your efforts, and your participation. Without you, there would not be a South African Netherlands Cyber School. So big round of applause for yourself. Thank you so much, and we hope to see you somewhere in cyberspace. Thank you so much for all of your efforts.
Well, thank you. Let me then just wrap it up. So as Joost said, we will come back to you. For those that attended for 75% of the lectures, there will be certificates. That will take a couple of days extra, but at some point they will show up in your email box. So watch them closely. And I think the other one is the announcement on how to apply for this opportunity, which will be, of course, a bit competition because there's only so much space for people to attend. But I think this is a wonderful opportunity. So without further ado, I think thank you all, and spread a word that hopefully also next year we'll have such a nice school again. So thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Michel. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Michel. Thank you, Joost. Thank you to my teammates, and thank you to the students. And yes, keep an eye on your inboxes. It will give us a day or two to catch our breath. And we'll mails are on their way. Thank you.
We will.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks all.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.